Well, good morning. This is Dave Johnston with Day Trade the Markets. We're looking at a 1-minute chart of the Emini S&P. This is Thursday, September the 8th, 2016. I've just entered a long trade here at 2178.25. As you can see, we have had, this is fairly early in the trading session. We've only traded for about 45 minutes. You can see, let me just get an arrow here. You can see that we've had, this was yesterday's low right here. And we also had an overnight low. Let me just squeeze that up a little bit there. Our overnight low was at 76.50 right here. So the market has come down. It's obviously, and I'll just mark in just so we have a reference there. I'm going to mark in yesterday's low as well. So everything else you see on the chart has been produced by the Day Trade the Market software. In particular, these different colored paint bars. For example, this magenta bar that you've just that you see right here, which just formed recently, that's our most aggressive selling bar. So the market here has come down into a potential support area, which is the overnight low and yesterday's low. We have also been in a nice up move of late, although not a powerful one. It has been somewhat stagnating here for the past, well, I guess you could say since shortly after the Brexit news was released. At that time, the market sold off from roughly the 2100 area, reached a low 1980, and has rallied since then. For the past, I would say 2 months roughly, maybe a little less than that, we've more or less been going sideways, although it has been leaning up from roughly 2140 to 2190. So we're at 2178 right here, and our next target is yesterday's high, which is up here at 2186.75. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and place a line up in there as well as far as our next significant target, not the next closest one, but the next closest significant one. So we are along the 4 contracts. The high for today, right up in here, this is where the market opened for the regular trading hours today. So, you can see we had a red bar here. That's good selling. Its high was not taken out, but its low was. These red bars, though, was a little bit different. Even though their lows were taken out, we had at least a bounce here with this green bar. However, as you can see, no follow-through higher on that green bar, but instead its low was taken out with an aggressive magenta bar, but absolutely no follow-through lower on that magenta bar as the market tested down into the support area. So our first objective, I think, well, first of all, I really should put a protective sell stop in, and I'm going to put that in 1 tick below today's low, so it's 75.50 for the sell stop further. Our initial risk on that's little, that's what, almost 3 points, so it's a little bit larger than what I like, but I think in this case it's, we're just going to have to use that at least to start with. It's sort of our God forbid stop, and I'm going to try and make an adjustment on this fairly soon. As far as the objectives to the upside, obviously I'd like to see not only this area get tested, but up towards the high of the day. So we're long from 78.25, so I'm going to go ahead and try and sell half the position here for a 2-point profit at 80.25. Should we get filled on that, then I will adjust the stop. I may adjust the stop sooner than that, but as for right now, I'll leave it like that. And then our next main significant, as I was just mentioning, the next area that of resistance is up in this area. So if you can't see that, let me just get the up into this area here. So, but we did have this bounce late yesterday, so I'm going to go ahead and put another order, this time just for 1 contract. I think I'll put it in here, 85.25. It's right near the top of where the market peaked late yesterday, but it's also below our significant, it's about a point and a half below this significant high right here, which is at 86.75. So that's really the lay of the land right now, why the trade's on, where it's on, what our stop is, our initial objective, our first objective, second objective, and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this recording just to keep the recording itself, the duration of it, relatively short, and I'll pick it up as the market dictates. Okay, just resuming the recording here. We just got filled here on our first objective. I should actually mark that in let me get a little marker here. That was at a 2-point profit, so 80.25 right in here. It moved pretty quickly right through there just a moment ago. So we've got our first objective filled here. We do have that second objective, and obviously I want to adjust this stop. We only have 2 contracts left on this trade now, so I've got to make an adjustment on the number of contracts. So sell stop is now just for 2 contracts. It has moved up and made a new high, so it looks like we're looking good here towards that next target. You can see here too, as a matter of fact, what I will do is just kind of spread these bars out, a little bit more, so you can maybe just see this a little more clearly. There we go. Now you can see this green bar that we've just formed here. Obviously we've got some pretty good buying coming in here, so the question now is, where should I adjust that stop to? So it's already moved up to 82.75. We're long from 78.50. So the market could, though, it could easily come back in to test into this area in here around 80 or so on its way higher. That's just kind of a natural pullback when you get some good aggressive buying like that. I don't really want it to get much below there. Now we do have a light green bar here, which is our level 1 or weakest level of buying. And just a quick review, our very strongest level of buying is a blue bar. We've got one yesterday over here. The next strongest is the green bar that we just had. And the weakest form of aggression is this light green. So there's 3 levels of aggression on the buy and the sell side. So I'm going to go ahead and raise this stop just a little bit above where we got entered in here. I think just right at the bottom there of that first green bar. Like I say, I think the market could come down and test in this 80 area before it continues higher. But at least we've locked in a break even or slightly better here. A couple of ticks on these other 2 contracts should it turn around. Now, okay, you can see our software has just formed a high velocity moves. That's this vertical rectangle here. Now, we always like to see these when the market starts to move in the direction that we're looking for, as it does tend to be the beginning of an intraday auction. So we also know that it's very possible, it's not always likely, but it's certainly possible for the market to pull back either halfway or almost all the way to the bottom of a buying high velocity move like we have here before it turns and moves up. Sort of that idea of backing and filling once you have a vertical move. So I think our stop's in a fairly good spot here. It's a tick below the low of this high velocity move. It's locked in a couple of ticks profit for us. It might come down towards the bottom here, but I think we're looking pretty good on where we've got our stop. We've got our next objective for just 1 contract up here, so 1/4 of the original position. We've already sold a half of the original position, so I think we're in pretty good position here. I'm just going to go ahead and pause the recording once again, and I will pick it up as the market dictates. Okay, just resume the recording. You can see the market did have that dip down towards the low that we anticipate into the support area here. It kept us in the trade because, of course, we put our stop a little bit below that. It has turned around and had a nice move higher, taking out the previous bounce that we had up here. So what I'm going to do now is make an adjustment on this stop. The last dip that we had some fairly aggressive selling in here, but it immediately stopped. This is a deceleration bar. It has a triangle below its low, so it's a selling bar with a triangle below its low. So the selling decelerated there. Then you can see came up and took out the high of that red bar. So I think as a result, this selling has been rejected, not in a strong way, but no follow through to speak of. So I think we're still good to go on the long side. So what I'm going to do is adjust this stop here and bring it up just underneath that last little dip that we had right here. That last little dip got to 21.80. So now our protective stop is at 21.79.75, which will lock in 1.5 points on the second half of the position. We still have our sell limit up here to try and sell 1/4 of the initial original position. So anyway, just bringing you up to date on the trade. I will once again go ahead and pause the recording. Okay, just starting up the recording again. It has come back down to this support area that we were talking about here, which is why I put the stop just a tick below it. So obviously it just came within a tick of getting stopped out. So just thought I would go ahead and restart the recording and just bring that to your attention. Other than that, we were exited here for 2 points on the first half of the position. And should we get stopped here, we're long, as you can see from, as a matter of fact, why don't I just make a marker on that so we know in case we get stopped, because this will be we're long from right here at 78.25. So if we do get stopped right here, okay, we just got stopped. So I obviously want to cancel this. So got stopped right here. I'll move this down. 78 right there at 75. I'm sorry, 79.75 is where we got stopped. So we're long from 78.25. So a point and a half on the second half of the trade and 2 points, which is where we were filled over here on the first half of the trade. So what does that equal? So that's 2 points on the first two, so that's a total of 4 points there, and a total of 3 points because a point and a half on each of the two other contracts in the second half, so that's 3 points there. So 4 on the first half and 3 on the second half, so that's a 7-point trade. And for those of you not familiar with the Emini S&P, each point is worth $50. So on 7 points, that's a $350 trade, trading these 4 contracts. So anyway, there's a live trade today. September 8th, 2016, using the Day Trade the Market software. If you've got any questions or comments, want to contact us about this, feel free to do so. Always love to hear from you. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.